Hello everybody, I'm Elitrex and welcome back to the channel, and in this video we are going to be checking out Minecraft 1.17's most anticipated mob, the Axolotl. This video is going to be a complete guide on the Axolotl mob, so if you enjoy the video overall and you think it's a cool idea, please be sure to drop a comment down below, leave a like, and while you're at it, subscribe. Everything you've ever wanted to know about the Axolotl mob since the time it came out on December 16th is going to be in this video. There will be timestamps down in the description for specific bits that you want to know about, but if you just came here to learn about the Axolotl overall, just watch the entire video and you should know everything. Otherwise, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Now, right off the bat, we're going to get out of the way where the mob spawns, how much health it has, and just some general information about it. So the Axolotl actually has 5 variants if you didn't already know that, and 4 of those 5 variants you're more likely to see than the other one. The 5th variant is actually the rarest variant you can get of the mob, and the other 4 are pretty much just known as the common variants, but the rare variant is a blue and orange type of mob, and I think it looks really cool. As you can see here, we've lined up the 5 variants of the Axolotl mob, and so their variant is actually stored in their NBT data, which is actually just under the code variant. So the first one has a variant NBT tag of 0. They didn't start at 1 for some reason, they decided to start at 0, which you can guess the second one's 1, the third one is 2, the fourth one is 3, and then the rarest variant is number 4, variant 4 in the NBT data. I don't know what the exact ratio of spawning is for you to get the rare variant, but I can tell you I've spawned hundreds of them and have not gotten a single one. Maybe you just can't get them in creative without using commands, but I'm not actually sure. Now, in terms of the actual spawning location, they don't spawn naturally in the world just yet. They're gonna add that once they add the lush caves. My only assumption if they did add the spawning ability would be that they would spawn in the water caves that were added in Minecraft 1.13 underneath the oceans. Specifically the warm oceans, since I'm pretty sure that that's where the axolotls live in real life, but I'm pretty sure the most evidence we have towards where they're going to spawn is in the lush caves, and we knew about that since October. Now we're going to talk about some of the axolotl statistics. So probably the most important statistic is exactly how much health it has, and it has 14 hit points, which means it has 7 full hearts of health. It's a neutral mob, which means sometimes it attacks things, sometimes it doesn't. It just depends what NBT data it has and how you're affecting it. It has an attack strength of 2 hearts, so it does 4 damage every time it attacks. It doesn't actually drop anything, which I find kind of weird. They could do some cool stuff with the drops, so I'm assuming we're going to see some of that later on. And I actually don't know exactly how many blocks per second it travels, since I haven't been able to test that because it doesn't move in a straight line. So have fun with that, people, figuring that out. Here's a little bit of a fun fact too. If you have axolotls in a pool of water that is sort of isolated and you dry it out, they'll actually manage to survive on land since they're amphibians. Now, they won't be able to survive forever, but if they can manage to make it into water by the 5-minute timer, which is how long it takes for them to start taking damage out of water, they will be okay. And if it starts raining like it just did, that was perfect timing. They stay alive, so no matter how long they've been out of water, they don't start to take damage because they've been out of water, because technically they're being wet, and I think amphibians breathe through their skin, so yeah. And if you do also just place the water back, they'll just go to the nearest water source, and as you can see, they're struggling to get in, but they do manage to eventually get in, and then they stop taking damage if it wasn't raining. But they do manage to get in eventually, and then they'll be able to swim around again. Now we're going to talk about the mobs that the axolotl will attack. So here we spawn some cod, and as you can see, the axolotls do not hesitate to attack the cod. So let's spawn in some salmon and pufferfish and some tropical fish. Yeah, it looks like they're just going to attack anything they see. We're going to check if it's the same for hostile mobs in a second, but just take a look at how much raw entities there are here. Look at this. Okay, so I've actually looked into it a little bit. If we spawn in a drowned here, you can see we have an axolotl in our offhand, and here we have a drowned. So if you spawn in a regular axolotl, they're not going to attack the drowned, but the drowned will attack the axolotl, and the axolotl will start to take damage if he gets hit by the drowned. And as you can see, the axolotl just does its sort of play dead animation. But if we have a tropical fish in our hand, But if we have a tropical fish in our offhand, the drowned will actually start being attacked by the axolotl. The axolotl can still take damage, but as you can see, if we just swarm the drowned with the axolotl, they make pretty quick work of him. He still manages to knock out a couple of them, but they do regenerate their health and then eventually take out the drowned. One more note, it looks like the axolotls actually are completely fine with dolphins, which is kind of weird considering I would assume axolotls are territorial and they would attack the dolphins, but apparently axolotls and dolphins get along great, and the dolphins actually play with the items that the axolotls make from attacking fish, so it looks like they don't attack each other. Axolotls being neutral mobs, and the Minecraft developers having thought this far ahead have given the axolotls the ability to play dead. Now you saw this in the drown demonstration, but if they get hit by any mob, including guardian beams and sort of special attacks by mobs, they just get an effect which is like playing dead. I'm not actually sure what the effect is, but you can see the particles and they just get zapped, and then once they play dead, no mob is actually going to attack them. They're just going to be there until they regenerate their health. So I'm assuming it's actually the regeneration effects, because once they regenerate, they just get back up and just act like nothing happened, like they didn't get stung by a massive particle beam. As you can see here, I have an axolotl egg in my offhand, so if we just spawn an axolotl and catch him in the bucket, get in the bucket. If we just place him back down, you'll see it's not the same axolotl. This can be, it's really weird. It's not consistent whenever you place down an axolotl, so no matter how many times you recapture the axolotl, it's not gonna remember which axolotl it is. It's gonna be completely different depending on which color it is. So this might be a way to farm rare axolotls. Who actually knows? Could be an AFK farm though, that'd be cool. Now as you saw before, axolotls love fish, so I'm not entirely sure if it's any fish, but I know for a fact it's tropical fish, so that's what we're gonna be doing in this demonstration. But you can actually breed 2 axolotls together with tropical fish. Now you have to be really quick because they swim pretty fast, but if you do manage to hit both of them with a tropical fish, you can see they do a weird swimming animation and just freeze in the middle of the air. So some weird stuff happens. They're probably gonna fix that in the next update, but if we just wait for a long time, eventually you'll see the animation again and you'll get some experience, and there will be a baby axolotl. Look at this thing! By now we're all familiar with the pink axolotl. It's probably the most popular axolotl, but what you probably didn't know is that there's actually a green variant. This variant hasn't actually been added to the game yet, but Minecraft, in some of the B-roll shown in the live stream, actually did show a green axolotl variant, so we're still looking for that. We have no idea when it's actually going to be added to the game though. For now though, we're just going to have to stick to the 5 that we're familiar with. Now we have the axolotl variants and we know what they're like in Minecraft, but how about comparing them to the ones in real life? So the first one we're going to be comparing, which is just the, the type 1, is actually known as a white albino axolotl, and it looks something like this. The second variant, which in NBT is variant 1, is called a wild type axolotl. The golden one is called a gold albino, which is type 3. The fourth axolotl that we've seen is actually called a leucistic axolotl, which I don't know what that means, but I'm assuming it just has something to do with weird albinism. And the last one isn't actually a real life variant, but it is the rarest variant, so we're going to be comparing these two, which is the blue one, and it's actually called a melanoid axolotl, which looks like this. Not similar at all, but I guess they're going for that, so yeah. Now surprisingly enough, you don't actually need tropical fish to tame an axolotl. All you really need is a bucket of water, and as long as you can manage to catch the axolotl and catch him in a bucket, that technically counts as taming him. Now if we go down into the water and place the bucket down, you'll see he'll start to swim away, but they won't actually leave unless they get distracted by fish. Since this technically counts as taming them, they're now your pet. Although they won't necessarily follow you either unless you have tropical fish in their hand, but they won't leave if you stay stationary. Unless obviously they see other fish, then they'll try to catch those, and if they get too far away, they will end up swimming away, which is why tropical fish is always a good idea to have at hand whenever you're dealing with axolotls. But you can actually just tame them with a bucket. Ladies and gentlemen, I think I've just discovered the very first bug of axolotls, which is if you place them on a lily pad, they just start doing 360s. I mean, there's not really too much explaining needed here. I don't think they're meant to do this. Can I push him out? Yes, I've saved him, okay. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to conclude the axolotl guide. Leave a like if you did enjoy this video. I spent a long time putting this video together. In fact, I recorded the entire thing. Turned out my mic was off, so I had to record it again 2 times. So if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a like, go down there while you're down there, subscribe, and drop a comment telling me what I should do a guide on next. I know there's a snapshot coming out tomorrow, so I'll be sure to cover that unless it's terrible. That's going to do it for today. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye!